Voice is not recognized. Try again.
Are we recording?
Yeah, no, we're good.
All right, this meeting is being recorded. This is the Town of Dayton Commission on Disability. Today is January 9th, 2025, and we are at prime time. At this time, can I get a roll call from the commission?
Jonathan Gale, ADA Coordinator.
Cynthia Boland.
Kevin Smith.
Nicole Mello present. And we currently don't have anyone on Zoom. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we have no new business. We're gonna go to our old business. We're gonna start with member report. Does anyone, any of the members have a report?
I don't have any.
I don't
I
know.
don't think I have.
The only thing I have is that I didn't, last time we had discussed, in regards to, looking to do something like Best Buddies, but not Best Buddies, and I was gonna reach out to the Middleborough, Elks, because they have like, I think it's called inclusive dance. But with the holiday season, I wasn't able to reach out, so that is still on my, bucket list to complete. If nobody else has anything, we can move on to Jonathan. You wanna do your
Yeah, I mean,
report?
it's not gonna be a big one, frankly, partly because I was away. The things that I've done in the past, well, since I wasn't here last month either, in the past 2 months, I've had several residents reach out. After we had the town meeting for the elementary school, I've had a few residents reach out who have kids in the elementary school, who have different disability. For the most part, the questions they've asked me have not pertained to me as an ADA coordinator, and I've referred to them elsewhere. There were 2 parents who asked me questions about accessibility. One of them was not for a student, but was for a grandparent who wanted to be able to attend activities at the school, and was having a difficult time because of where the classroom was located. So I directed it back to the principal to see what can be done on that and told them how to do it. I've had a few people reach out to ask where they can get walkers, wheelchairs, things like that, if they need. Again, not directly related to something that the town can provide, except that they needed information only, things like that.
Were you at the meeting last night when they talked about the shed, new shed that the Council on Aging is gonna have?
No, I wasn't, because I had to leave.
So it's gonna be a place where they can start collecting more of these equipment for residents, so at some time, hopefully you and Bella can connect.
Yeah, but we actually talked about that a little bit earlier.
Oh, good,
For a couple of minutes, because there's a couple other things that we want to get together on and do as well.
Excellent, I'm happy to hear that.
Because right now, for example, the Lions Club, through one of their members, Edelman, collects a lot of material that they disperse privately as well. But Ed is also going to be stepping back on a lot of his duties because of his age and things with his spouse. So he and I talked about, is there a way that the town can store some of that material and take some of that over? So I'm going to have to talk to the Lions more about that as well and see if we can do that or not, and probably reach back with the town administrator, see what we have for space, or is there a way we can, do we need to purchase or rent a storage unit or something like that as well? So Bella and I did briefly touch on that.
All right, good.
But overall, probably because it's been the holidays and things like that, it's been pretty quiet. I have not formally met with the town administrator yet, in my role as the ADA coordinator. We're going to meet this coming Monday, so that we just now not being able to meet. And, by our schedules for the most part. So I'll meet with him Monday for the first time and talk about what he expects of me and what my role is and where we go from here and stuff like that. So stay tuned. That's it.
Sounds good. Okay, everyone's favorite. Discuss the KMA report, which I don't have anything personally.
The one on our side that we can't seem to.
Yeah.
Like, can we make like a pact?
Sure.
You know what happens with this, I don't know why, but this meeting, I feel like it like sneaks up on
I
us.
feel like it's fast, even though it's only once a month.
Right, but I feel like it's like you get so bottled up and stuff, and then I'm like, oh my god,
Sorry.
switch on to disabilities next week, and like, we never, it never
Yeah.
get a chance to look at it.
So I'm gonna suggest for the candidate report for all of us, just to get it moving, if we each agreed to start with, to look at, for example, if Kevin took like 1 through 3, and I took 4 through 6, and you take 7 through 9, right, and then 10 through 12, and we start with that, and then we each look at those and come back next time with, we think this is in our wheelhouse, or we think this is the ADA coordinator, or we think this is something else. And maybe look at each of those things, those 3 things, and come back with a couple of suggestions.
Well, no, what we did do though, is I started to break it down about, because there is stuff that we checked on, is maybe next time, I'll send it to everybody first digitally, so Jonathan can see it. But then I'll bring a printout of that
Yeah.
spreadsheet that I made, because maybe that will kind of push us along to be
Yeah.
able to like, look at it, check it off, and then we can do like what Jonathan suggested.
You
It's
take a
like,
second.
yeah, once we checked off, right, that's been done, then we can take bits and pieces, we can do it that way, I think that's a good idea.
And I am gonna just suggest that at our next meeting, when you're looking at things, I mean that in the literal sense this time, I have these glasses I'm learning how to use. And I put the glasses on, and they're actually meta glasses, I'll say that phonetically, just from top to bottom.
I just got those for Christmas, and the first thing I said to my husband, I was like, Jonathan needs these.
Yeah, I have them, and for me, they work with AI.
Oh, okay.
Mine are designed to work with AI as well, they look almost like Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
And then there's another type I have too, so I'm learning how to use them, so
Was
I'm
it
gonna bring them next time.
It
It'll
describes
actually
you?
read the page from top to bottom, look at this column format, it
Yeah.
learns what you do, so as I talk, the more I talk to it, it learns what I'm asking and how I want to format it. So, I may try to use them next time, so just be more patient with you from trying.
Yeah, that's
So,
really
because
cool.
I wanna be able to use that for other committees as well that I'm on. And what better place to try than here?
Yeah, right?
So, you know, I know Kevin won't like it because it'll hold things up, but.
All right, so this sounds like we have a plan, and I think that, you're right, if we have something physically in front of us, sometimes we pull it up on our phones or our laptops, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna help. I'm gonna move on to the update on the lower level to town hall, which is also a thorn in my side. So I seem like we made good leeway our last meeting, but then the holiday happened and it completely fizzled out. So I haven't done anything else with that. I wanted a refresher in regards to, we were looking to change some language. Talk to Jim about changing some language, and then also, did we identify a funding source?
So we didn't,
We were gonna ask the town administrator if they have a budget for like things that break or whatever.
right, so I think what we were gonna do is, I think we had agreed, I don't think we voted on it, but we had more or less agreed that the best next step was to like draft a letter of recommendation
Okay.
from the commission to the TA and the board of selectmen for approval, and then they kind of almost, say, hey, do we have money?
Yeah.
Because we do, we have facilities repair money, it's just whether or not, the town decides to move forward with it.
Okay.
There are a couple of other things when I meet with Ralph on Monday. There are a couple of other things in general I need to talk to him about with regard to facility repair, small repairs, and find out where the dollars can come from that. So I'll bring this up if it's okay.
Yeah, that would be
And
great,
see,
get the
as-
ball rolling.
As the coordinator in that position, to bring back to you guys, if nobody has an objection. see
No,
what
I think
says.
that's good, and and then you can give us the okay, then we can draft that letter, and then we can push it on to.
Which I can, for our next, I can draft the letter for our next meeting too, and then I'll, because I think we'd have,
Wasn't there an estimate of
Yeah.
how much?
it was
Already?
900.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing in that original quote too was it just said that they're gonna replace it, whatever, how 60-inch threshold.
But it did.
But there was no specification of,
Zero.
zero clearance and all that stuff, so
Yeah.
that was my only concern, I mean, not that, I know that, Jim's good at delegating and telling them what we need, but still.
Well, then they also reduce the cost.
Well, you don't wanna get to the point where just in case it was a miscommunication and they replaced it with the same exact thing and we paid $950 and then we're like,
Yeah.
that's not right.
No.
We have nothing in writing yet.
Yes, so just to protect us, that's all.
Alright, so that sounds good. Next, update on the handicap parking fund. So last night at the Board of Selectmen meeting, Ralph had brought up, I had sent him the email, requesting how we would go forward with a revolving fund and collecting those funds from the handicap parking, and putting them in there, and he's working with, Serena on that. And he said he would update me as soon as he has an update on that.
Yeah, that should be pretty simple, because I know like when we created the revolving funds for the police, I know the police department did it, I did it for Parks and Rec. It's
We've done it
literally, yeah, the COA has done it,
Yeah.
so it's just like the formality of voting it, the bylaw change at town meeting, so.
Yeah.
One thing though, in that conversation too, was just, I was actually kind of shocked that they only wrote a couple a year. But we had kind of expressed that, like, to the chief, like, to, you know, do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of look for it
Yeah.
more, just because, you know, it's like almost like, I know that, like, police departments kind of have initiatives usually
Yeah.
anyway, you know, like,
Yeah.
kind of
So like, then
ramp up on speeding or this or that,
Yeah.
so if they can make
Push
it
that,
part of
yeah.
their
Send out
initiative,
that
that would be.
But I think it's also a question of not just the four of us, but if we see people who are parked in a handicap spot who don't have a placard or a sign hanging, you know, from their windshield or a license, are we willing to call the police department and say, could you send somebody down?
Well, there was some back and forth, because I did bring that up, and they said like a lot of times though, like people might not have that placard, or you might not realize that they have a plate instead of a placard. I mean, not that you wanna tie up the police department
Yeah, with calling.
with calls, but I don't think it's not like we're gonna be calling every day to do it.
No.
So like, if you don't see those two things, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt.
You make a citizen's arrest.
There is, when
It's
I'm
on my list with a
Up to do.
couple other things to do.
So years ago, when I was at the Disability Law Center, actually, and I still may have some, and if I do, I will bring one in next time. What we had designed at the time when we were using, this is going back, 12 years ago, but we had designed a facsimile of a ticket. It was yellow, and it looked about this big, and it looked just like a ticket. And it could be put on, we passed them out at different towns and cities, and what it was a warning to put on, that residents could just have, you could give them like a book of these 20 things to anybody. And they saw somebody parking in a handicapped spot that didn't have the placard or the license plate, for example, because maybe they forgot or somebody didn't see it right, whatever it is. They can just slap the warning sign on the windshield, and it basically says, this is a warning that if you do it again, you're subject to it. And it looks exactly like the tickets that are written.
How are we gonna get any money then if we?
Well, I know you're saying, but now there's.
This is your free pass.
Yeah, it's the first, now there's two sides to this. One is it's a first free pass. The other side of it is, if a resident, and this was the question we had to struggle with, is if a resident, if I go up to Nicole's car and I'm putting something on her windshield and she sees me, she doesn't know what it is, it's like, hey,
Yeah,
that can create an issue
yeah.
between residents potentially, and then that resident has that little book in their glove compartment is gonna have to say, listen, I'm not trying to be a jerk, I'm just trying to warn you, because in the future this could happen to you. So there is that part of it that we have to think about, but I'm wondering if that's a way to go and have the facsimile to at least let people know, please don't violate it again, it's a friendly way of doing it. I agree, granted, we might get a little bit less money, we also might be calling the police a little bit less.
I think the best way would be to learn their lesson, those that they have to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're gonna let the police do the police thing.
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna go tell Amy to, you know what I mean, but like, yeah, I feel comfortable calling if someone's in a handicapped spot
Yeah.
and they don't have the placard or the license plate, I feel comfortable. But I just feel like, I'm thinking of like people that I know, or even maybe myself, if I walked into my car, I had a warning on my car, I'd probably kind of disregard it.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, don't do this again, and well, if it didn't come from a cop especially.
But they don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
They don't know, unless they see you do it, they don't know who put it on there.
Yeah, but if it's like a general little booklet of
Cindy's a rule
warnings.
breaker.
I actually like rules.
No, I get what you're saying though, because it's like, until it hits you in your wallet.
Yeah, like until it hits you where it
You know,
hurts, like the most, you know what I mean, like I'm not gonna take it seriously.
But on the other hand, this is a small town,
True.
and with a warning, they might be thinking, oh gosh, if I don't do this right, everybody's gonna know. Or something
That's
like that.
that's a good, and then or word of mouth too, yeah, that's a
And
good.
then we can shame them on Facebook.
Put their license on the ATV, if you see this car. But, it's just something, I guess, something to think about.
Yeah,
as a
well, I was
possibility.
like thinking of the cost of how much it would take to print these booklets.
If I
Does that
still
cost
have
money?
some, maybe 10 or 15 of those books left out.
Oh, you're saying you have.
I may even have some left, I have to check my old storage stuff. But if not, I can find out.
Yeah,
Alright, so we have some different options.
yeah.
Alright, so does anyone else have anything else on that? And if I don't hear from Ralph within like 2 weeks, I'll re-prompt him on that. I don't wanna bother too early.
Well, I don't think we don't need to, I don't think we
It
really,
won't go until
it's not gonna
then.
go until June, so we
Yeah.
really don't need to worry about that end of it, and that's super simple, like, I think maybe once we know that warrants are coming out, if we haven't sorted it out, well, we should give them a reminder anyway. when
Yeah.
it's come, because we know how it gets crazy.
So with
I
this.
guess the biggest thing would maybe just, at some point, if we reconnect with the police department to just, you know,
Yeah.
have that conversation again about the initiative of
Yeah.
cracking down on it.
Mhm.
You know, with all, 6 handicap parking spots that they can catch people in. Well, actually, too, no, it's big for me is, and I'm gonna have Tom do this in the spring. So I know, like, so at the North Lane Playground, when we did that parking area, we had actually paved one section to be exclusively handicap parking, but we never striped it or put the sign up. So even stuff like that, there's some stuff on my end where like we have designated handicap spot in the courts, there was another spot where they can kind of check for it. But like spots like that, if I get some of that stuff done, because there's people that park all kinds of crazy over there anyway. So like just identifying, all right, we have these areas, check these out, make sure it's good. Just having the more opportunities.
And you have a couple of quasi-private areas too, like the baseball complex,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah, but I don't think those, well, they might have some parking, but
They have signage,
yeah, it doesn't,
but it doesn't.
What if you notice a place where somebody's really doing it? Like, hey, I noticed like 3 cars.
Yeah.
Trying to go to the town hall.
okay. I could use a whole book.
Okay, let's review and approve the minutes from 12/5/2024. Can I get a motion?
Oh, I forgot to say.
I make a motion to approve, the COD meeting minutes from the December 5th, 2024 meeting.
I second?
Yeah.
I Cynthia Bowen second.
Any discussion?
No.
A vote?
Cynthia Bowen, aye.
Fine.
Nicole Mello, aye. And then we have no public.
No. Oh, is somebody in?
Oh, this whole time, and I think I
Oh, I
I
put
love
something
this.
now.
Did she just pop
I
in?
might have.
Christina just popped in.
Oh.
Hi Christina, sorry about that. Were you waiting long?
I don't know, like 10 minutes. That's all right.
Sorry. Numbered, so that next time you can like text me or something.
Okay.
When I missed, she sent me a message.
Never mind, I guess.
So we're total jerks, so we just wanted to say hi quick, because we're like right at the tail.
Okay.
Have anything for member report? Because we can take a motion to go back if you did.
No.
Alright. We'll catch you up in the minutes, when we send out the minutes. I apologize. Alright, so we'll adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Good job.
Yes.
Can I get a second?
Second?
And a vote?
Cynthia Bowen, aye.
Nicole Mello, aye.
Timothy Olivera, aye.
Thank
Sorry,
you,
Christina.
sorry about that. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
There's a dog, Jonathan.
A little dog in there.
Just know if I ever say, oh.
It might be a big
it's
dog. I'm not sure. Yeah.